Hey guys, so I have an opportunity to talk to you about how to find the volume of a rectangle. Volume, right? So volume is kind of similar to area like we've talked about before, but we'll make some connections when we get into it. So let's start. Let me start by sharing my screen. Put some music in the background. Try to make it a little bit more melodic. Let's see. Hopefully you guys give me some feedback and let me know if it's a distraction or not. Cool. Our daily affirmation. I am an awesome, brilliant child, determined eternally for greatness, helpful, intelligent, joyful, kind, and loving, mindful, and naturally outstanding. Phenomenal, questioning, respectable, smart, talented, unique, and virtuous, wise. Exciting, youthful, and zealous, and then some. All right, let's choose our norm for the day, as we normally would. I'm going to kindly ask that you choose one norm. Well-dressed, well-organized, well-balanced, well-read, well-spoken, or well-traveled. Cool. So the volume of a rectangular prism. How can you find the volume of a rectangular prism? Because we've heard of that before. No, not at all. So let's see. When we think about a rectangular prism, we think of shapes that look like this. So we have our length, height, and width. Length, height, and width, or length, width, and height. But in order to find the volume of said object, like this rectangle here, we have to multiply them. So we have to identify the length, identify the width, identify the height, and then multiply them by one another in order to get our volume. Let's see what the lesson has to say. So you'll notice that I left some things blank because we'll have to get there eventually. Using fractional edge lengths. A cube with edge length 1 unit and volume 1 cubic unit is filled with the smaller cubes as shown. How many small cubes are there? Let's look. So you have to focus on these parts. So when we're doing volume, it's normally measured in square units, right? How does the combined volume of the small cubes compare to the volume of the large cubes? Well, let's see. We see that there are 3 small cubes here by 3 tall cubes here. So we know that it's 9 square units, right? Because it's 9 square units here. It's 9. So if we use all 3 of them, we probably think that it's about 27, right? So let's see if we can actually multiply that same thing. So we have 3 across, 3 wide. We have 3 long. We also have 3 high. So wide, long, height. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. What is the volume of one small cube? 1/27th of a cubic unit. Each edge of the large cube contains 3 small cubes. Please take a second to look over it. So it says number of small cubes per edge, 3. Edge length of one small cube is what we say? 1/3, I agree. Edge length of a large cube is 1. Complete. Each small cube has edge length 1/3 units and volume 127 cubic units. When we actually touch base in class, we're going to review this once more, but I wanted you to focus on where these examples here say finding the volume. A rectangular prism has 6 faces. Any pair of opposite faces can be called the bases of the prism. So here we see the formula again, volume equals length times width times height, or V equals BH, where B represents the area of the prism's base, length times width, okay? So if we're looking at the volume, we're learning here that you can either multiply length times width times height, length times width times height, or the base, which is length times width, multiplied by the height. Base, length times width, height. So here we see find the volume of the rectangular prism. Take a second to look over it, and I'm going to give you some time. We'll actually review it when we get to class as well. But I do want to show you this anchor chart. So remember this, to find the volume of a rectangular prism, the formula is length times width times height. Determine the length, width, and height. Set up an algorithm or formula and multiply the length by the width and the height. In this example shown here, we have the width is 3 feet, the height is 7 feet, and the length is 5 feet. The width is 3 feet, and the height is 7 feet. 3 times 5 is 15. 15 times 7 is 105. So we understand that our volume or area of this rectangular prism is 105 feet cubes. Okay. Remember, the formula for finding the volume of a rectangular prism is length times width times height. You can take a second to look at this here, and we will discuss when I see you guys. Thanks again, guys. Hope to talk to you soon. I miss you and I love you, and I'll see you soon. Cool.